Hello, everybody, and welcome to this live stream where, we are gonna talk about seasons of the Muse. We're gonna talk about what's going on with you guys. Gonna answer a bunch of questions. We're gonna ask a bunch of questions, and yeah, we're just gonna hang out and have a good Sunday with y'all. So, how you doing? Give me a let me know. I'm going to, whoa. I'm going to actually, because I haven't checked the campaign since Friday. And that's one thing about crowdfunding that can drive you crazy. You have to like walk away and not be constantly checking it, or else you're just going to be sitting there hitting refresh, going crazy. Okay, so let's see. Okay, we are at 245, 12% of the goal, guys. 4 amazing backers. Thank y'all so much. Let's see. Can I get any info through here, or do I have to go into the site? That's pretty good. 12% done with really no warning to you all. So that was pretty good. I think that worked out okay. So good. 29 days left. Let's get that going. I think we can do it. I think this this campaign, this project has enough stuff behind it that like I feel pretty comfortable with this. Plus, on top of all that, there's a lot of like perks and stuff with it that I think it's not going to be very hard at all to hit the goal. Hit the goal, son. That's ridiculous. I find all of these newsletters that I have been subscribed to probably since like 2016, 2012, that like I have completely forgotten about. And then I'll get an email on my phone from somebody. I'm like, who the hell is this? And then I have to like read through to remember, oh, yeah, it's that guy doing that thing. But yeah, his email, the header of his email was feeling stuck. So maybe we should talk about that. Maybe we should take that and run with it. Do you feel stuck? Huh. I don't necessarily feel stuck, but there are a lot of times when I feel like I don't know what to do. And I feel like something's coming, and soon I'm going to know what to do. But at that exact moment, I feel a bit stuck. You know what I'm saying? Um, and yesterday, for the majority of the day, I was feeling like out of all the things I do, like it's cool that I do all these things, but there's something a bit not quite there. And I just need to figure out what that piece is. What is the piece that's making me feel like we ain't quite there, you know? Like there's something that has to change or something needs to be added to make all of these things kind of work out. And through all of this, I've also been having a lot of thought about what everything I do means. Like the music, the film, the books, like prose, the poetry, the art, the painting. What the fuck am I doing? Like, what does it mean? Like, why am I doing this stuff? Whew, and I've been going back and forth on that. And so when you start thinking about stuff like that, you usually start asking yourself, well, why am I doing this in the first place? What does it do for me? What do I get out of creating? What is the thing that makes me keep doing it? You know what I'm saying? And you just start going down all these rabbit holes trying to figure out, like, what's it all mean? And you get all existential about your art. That's not fun. But I did come up with quite a few patterns, we'll say, in what I do. And one of them, even though it seems very obvious that this is a thing, I have this weird knot in my hair, guys. Oh, yep, there it is. I thought I almost had it up. But I did not get it. There it is, guys. Look at it. But the one thing that seems like it should have been a no-brainer, that this is how I do stuff and how this is such a big part of the art I make, is chance, like leaving things to chance. I don't like to do something that I've already done. So, for instance, when I was doing the band and we were in the studio, like I would do like one take unless I completely mess something up to where it doesn't make any sense or something like that. I would do everything in one take because even if the vocals were a little off or whatever, because that was the moment. That was that was the thing that that was, you know. Um when I was making movies, I would try to get everything in one take. Um, and that had a lot to do with budgetary restraints. Like, I didn't have the money on a lot of my movies to be able to take multiple takes of every single shot. But also, it goes back to um, that chance, that moment. Like, that thing was the thing that was recorded at that moment. That's a moment in time. That's history. That's what it is. um, I don't really edit my books. I might do like a spell check through it just to make sure that what I'm writing is someone can like make sense out of it. What is up, Chris? How are you doing? Oh, did I put the yeah, so the uh Indiegogo link is in the thing down below if you want to go check that out. But anyway, so all of these things, everything is you do the thing the one time and then that's the thing. Um and I think with painting, the thing that's hard is, if I wanna do something and then do something on top of it, and I have to wait for the paint to dry, fucking hell, dude. That's like anywhere from 20 minutes to 4 hours that, like, I just feel like is being robbed from me. I don't like that. So, um, I was thinking about all these things and how they all kinda intertwine, and it's just interesting because once you start talking the way I'm talking right now, um, if you have people who believe in you and believe in the things you're saying, like automatically you're like, oh, I need to make a new movement, a new um, school, whatever the fuck you want to call it, which then means I have to write a manifesto. And then it's like, oh no, another middle-aged white guy writing a manifesto. That's fucking clever. That's nice. Just like little things like that. And it makes you just be like, oh, fuck. So I think there is something to the idea that when you create art in the way I create it, no matter what kind of art it is, um, you definitely get something different than someone else would normally get, you know? You have to learn how to trust yourself more in the creating. And you need to be able to like walk away once something is finished, you know? And for a lot of people, that's like impossible. And what this does, at least for me, what it's trained me to do is like do the best job I can the first time, you know? Like, this is one of those like arguments I get into with poets all the time. Um, and they're like, well, no, you have to revise and revise and revise so you can get like the best like words on the page. And it's like, oh, are you in the business of learning new words? Like, do you like learn new words every week and every month? And like you're gonna write a poem today, but you're not gonna know all the words for it until like 2 years from now. Like, that's weird. Why don't you just write the poem right the first time? Like, you already know the words you know. The only thing that's going to happen is that your insecurities are going to start popping up, or, you know, um, you're going to write more stuff. And then this newer stuff to you is going to feel more important to you. So it's just going to make you like the older stuff a little bit less. And then you're gonna be like, "Oh, well, I just need to revise it." And then you revise it, now this is a brand new poem. And, I don't know, that just seems exhausting. I would rather just, like, put out 3 new books instead of, like, rewriting the same poem over and over again until, um, I don't know, I guess until I felt good about it. And then the other part of that is that if you keep revising and revising and revising and revising, it could end up taking so much of you out of the poem that by the time you finally read it, it's almost like reading someone else's poem, and you're like, "Oh, yes, this is a good poem, I could publish this." Anyway, I don't know why I went on that Nicky Jam. Hello. Um, yeah, I don't know why I went off into that rant. I mean, it could be because we're talking about a poetry collection that's going out. That most of the stuff um, I wrote, I never read until I announced the book and all the stuff for it. Probably not the best idea, but yeah. You derailed in anticipation of my appearance. Very much so. Very much so. And we are not going to be talking about boats or raised flower beds or model airplanes or I don't know what we said, cookies or eggs or something. I don't know. Won't be talking about any of that stuff today. Um, yeah, that's probably not something we're going to talk about today either. Last time we talked about that, you tried to put two hardworking ladies out of work. Oh my god. Um, but yeah, so um, things things get difficult all the time, and this is an easy for me to say because I don't know any of your guys' situations or anything like that. But as fucked up and difficult as our lives get, like we do have to kind of own one fact of it, which is like we decide how we respond to the things that happen in our life. And um, we can respond poorly, we could respond seemingly unfazed, um, completely detached and dissociated, or like blow up, or we could just write poems, you know? And the Seasons of the Muse book um, was basically me picking writing poems as how I handled um, everything that was going on in my life. Um, we're going to get a little dark here. Um, I need everybody to know because, again, the book is broken up into like 6 sections. Um, and like, obviously, the first section is when you're just meeting somebody. And that's like the fun and exciting part because everything's new and it's like this wonderful thing and like this is so crazy and it's just like full of exploring and the whole deal. um, and then the second part of the book was about like the relationship and dating and how that went, which again is exciting and new. And just in my mouth a little bit. Um, and then the third part of the book is like living with the person. And I think that is when the cracks start to show, you know. That's when a lot of the fantasy of what you imagined everything would be like starts to fall down a little bit. And not that it's bad, just that that's that. The fourth part of the book is like all the fights and when the fighting started and when um like I didn't know what was going to happen next. It was like are we together? Are we not? Is this going to last? Is it not? What do I do? Um and all that stuff. And from there um the next section would be like the breakup that destroyed the whole thing, like the fight, the breakup, the I mean, most of the poems I wrote for that section of the book, I think were written in the same night. It was like one right after another, like just like machine gun. Um, and those are the ones that I never really read because that was really hard for me. And that was me at a really dark spot. That was me um, not knowing if I was going to like make it to the next day, like with being able to open my eyes and stuff. Um, and that was really dark and fucked and the whole thing. And then the last section of the book is like looking back at all of that, looking back over the course of all that and trying to see what the fuck did I learn, you know? And learning to take care of myself. Um, like wishing her well, like do well, get away from me, that kind of thing. And just, I don't know how else to say it, but like, and I know this is going to sound really weird, but I almost needed that horrible experience for me to start taking care of myself, like um that got bad. And I don't know, like once that was over, um like I was in a really dark place and being able to prioritize myself after hating myself for everything that happened, that was a big step. And there's a lot of people out there who go through similar like breakups and similar situations. And I don't think we give ourselves enough credit to or for like once you are very close to thinking your life is over, to then not only pick yourself back up, but then to take better care of yourself than you did before. And I know a lot of people do that, but for some reason, that's not really something that people seem to like be proud of themselves for. Thomas, what's up, dude? What's going on? Unless the reason why you start taking better care of yourself is to stick it to your ex. Yeah, then I guess you brag about it and stuff. Um, but that's always going to be a short lived thing, you know? Like, if you're going to start taking better care of yourself, you should take better care of yourself so you could be around to, like, you know, see the world or see whatever. Um, but yeah, Yay, dude. I'm so glad. Did that just get there? That seems like it took a really long time. And it was freaking UPS, dude. But yeah, so back to all of this other stuff. If if this conversation has been uplifting at all, please click the link down below to go to my page for Seasons of the Muse, where you can find out more about the project. Oh my gosh. That took a while, man. Because that was sent out. Wait a second. That was sent out like the week before last week. Hmm. Okay, well, I'm glad you got it. I've never used the UPS store to take care of my shipping. Did it come from the post office or did it come from UPS? Like, did it come in? I mean, you probably weren't there when it got there, so um, never mind. But yeah, I've never done something through. Okay, so it went through USPS. Okay, so I guess that makes a little bit more sense. They said 4 days though, which is weird because I did all of the shipping at the UPS store, and they did like all of my packaging, and then hate my penmanship, and so wanted me to like redo everything so they could like type everything out. But if I did it through there and then they mailed it, I guess you could still mail stuff from there, right? I never got any notification for delivery. Huh. Well, that sucks. I'm really sorry about that, but I'm glad you got it and it's okay. Um, okay. I had to guess. Okay. Huh. Do you guys know how that works? Like, if you are shipping something through the UPS store, do they give you option for USPS? And then if that's the case, I guess they would have to just take that to the post office then? Is that how that works? I don't know how that works. Okay, we'll figure it out. But I'm glad you got it, so thank you for letting me know. um, but yeah, so back to just people doing better. Um, One of the things that I really like about this book, other than the fact that other than the fact that when I started writing the poems for this book, it was documented. Like the idea was I was going to document everything that happens in this relationship, good or bad. And no matter what happens, I'll have a good book at the end of it, kind of thing. Um, for me, it's really easy to write about the good stuff. It's really easy to write about the horrific stuff, like the awful, awful bad stuff. It's the middle of the road stuff, the mundane stuff that is probably the most difficult to write about. But then, with all of that said, writing about what you've learned from that mess, and if you're a better person than you were at the start of that whole thing, like what lessons you learned, like now the next relationship you have, are you going to now be a better partner? Are you going to um, make better decisions, make better choices, you know? Are you gonna treat your partner better? Like, if you come out of something that crazy and that huge of an ordeal and you don't know the answers to those questions, um, I think you gotta take a little bit of me time and sit down and try to figure your shit out. Because every single person that comes into your life, I believe, comes into your life for a reason. And however long the stay of that person in your life, it's for a reason. Like, people are drawn to one another by chance, but also by, I don't want to say magnetism, but attraction. Like attracts like people like interact with one another, or they're drawn towards people. Um, so no matter what, like the people who come into your life, like Thomas being here, Nikki, Chris, like the people who come into my life, they're here for a reason, for me to learn something from them to learn something from me, like us to just be there for one another when you need to be there for one another. Um, so like we should always, and I don't want to shit us, but like we should always be asking ourselves, like, not what does this mean, but like why? Like, why is this happening? Like, what am I supposed to be gleaming from this? And some of you might be going, it's just is, and you just have to kind of deal. But if you are kind of on a quest to better yourself and be a better person, like I fail a lot, guys. And I let a lot of people down, not because I want to, not because I mean to, um, but just because I can't spin every plate on every stick all the time, And I remember saying this months ago that like I'm learning a lot about patience right now, which is really difficult because I'm not very patient. And especially since we were just talking about how I create art before this, and we were talking about all that stuff. And there is nothing about patience in the way I write or make anything. But all in all, like, I don't even know where I'm going with that. But it's like with Seasons of the Muse, like me and her both went into that whole thing knowing I was going to write a book about it. Okay. um, it was not good at the end. It was not pretty at all. And like, that's okay. You know, like it happened. It is what it is. I like wish her all the best. Now go do your best over there. I'm over here doing my best. But thank you for the book. Thank you for that. Like, I don't know. I feel like so much of my life changed during the course of writing that book. Um, that that was just a really important time in my life. And like going back over the book, seeing what I kind of how far I've come, um, is pretty awesome. Like a lot of you don't know how dark it got, how bad it got, how close to it got. And you know, like I'm still here and it's okay, you know. Um should this book have come out a year ago or a year and a half ago? Yes, definitely. It definitely should have. Um but I wasn't strong enough then to like read over the things I wrote, you know. So like Horace said, the poems were in a drawer for a very long time. Dude, it came out when it needed to. We met a year ago and you were too close to it. Yeah, for real. Which is funny because no, that had to have been longer ago than that. Maybe not. Because I met another chap around that same time who um, was playing it really cool. And then once we were talking privately, um, opened up the whole awful relationship ending thing. And I'm not trying to say anything weird, but I think that kind of triggered me a little bit. Like I feel like I was getting better with a lot of it, and that kind of um, set me back quite a bit. And I need to make something really clear, really, 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 really clear. It was never that like when everything went wrong that I um like needed my partner back. It was more of I don't know how to say this. I was being pushed towards hating myself every day by this person. And by the time it got to the end of that, like I did hate myself and I wanted nothing to do with myself. Okay. And it took a while, like most of the grieving, most of the mourning wasn't so much wanting that person back as much as I felt like that was the only validation I could get, like that was the only like anything that um not that I was allowed to have, but like I don't know. I don't know how to explain that. Like I was an awful piece of crap, but this one person tolerated it. You know what I'm saying? And then it got to the point where, and this is how some other things, some other books start, where like she was like in one of her rants and like screaming and yelling. And I'm like, I'm afraid I'm going to hurt myself. And it was at that point where it was like we like I also thought she was going to say, "Oh, let's get you help. It's okay." But she didn't. She said, "Then Like I made a mistake, and like then we were both like, okay, like we shouldn't be together. And it was a very um it was a good parting of the ways. So I thought, you'll find out more in the book. But the mourning and the grieving was definitely more um me trying to not hate myself, I guess is the best way to put it. And it was bad. That was like a really, really bad thing. Um let me see. Sounds like you didn't want them back. You wanted you back, if that makes sense. Yeah. Um yeah. That is kind of the best way to put it. And it go in the book, it goes into this a little bit, but the other thing that was really just hard was me trying to reclaim my space and reclaim my town, reclaim my neighborhood, because every single thing that happened there, like that apartment, like cupboards in the apartment that um, at one time were full of her stuff, not mine. Um, Going to restaurants that like we used to like together. And I'm like, fuck you. I'm not going to let you take that fucking restaurant from me. I'm going to go back to that restaurant as many times as I can until I feel like I've been there by myself more than I was ever there with you. Like walks through the neighborhood, like um, doing that more by myself than I ever did with her. Um, um, because like memory, like ghosts, man, like you're into a fucking haunted house, when you start dealing with that kind of shit. I just wanted my life back, like I felt like I didn't have a life. So, and like, again, I don't want to make this sound like this person was so bad, blah, 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 blah. She's a very good person. We were not good together. I'm sure she's doing well now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to like hate on her because it wasn't her as much as it was the thing that surrounds a bad relationship. I'm pretty sure everyone here has been in a bad relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not necessarily because the person you're with tricked you. Like, "Oh, I made you think I was a really good person, and now that I got you, I'm like, nope. I'm letting you know now that I'm a piece of crap." Like it's like that's never a thing. Maybe on like Hallmark Channel movies or like there's those movies that are really weird. I can't remember I'm sure there's like a genre for it, but where the guy like ends up meeting this girl, they have this wild affair, and then they end up getting married really quick, and then it turns out, oh yeah, BT Dubs, I'm a serial killer and stuff like that. But yeah, not like that. Because like we all end up with people as we're like dating through the world and everything like that. And then things just don't work out. But you ended up with that person originally because you really liked them and you thought they were cool, and they thought you were cool and charming or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, like, we can't get like super hard on ourselves for that. But like, sometimes if both people just don't want to or just not good at the compromising part of a relationship or the communication part of a relationship, um, sometimes they just don't work, you know? And that doesn't mean either person's a bad person. It just means it doesn't work. And that's okay. Um, and then you also don't have to, like, I don't know. We don't need to talk about it anymore. But um, long story short, if you have been through anything like this, I think this book, it might be a hard read for you actually, but I think I don't know, like when I left a lot of poems in the book that I really wanted to take out because I'm like, this is just really depressing. I don't know if anyone's going to want to read this. But then there will be poems later where it's like basically like, I can't believe I was going to over you. I can't believe I ended up writing poems about how much I hate myself because of you, you know? So having those poems in there, like to me, is very powerful since there's other poems after that that talk about like how could you do that? How could you like use my art against me? Like and it's not even like she had anything to do with it because like I'm sitting there writing, she has no idea what I'm writing, and I'm just like writing all of this stuff, you know. But I don't know. Like I want to say it's a redemption story, but it's not. It's a look at a beginning and end and everything in the middle. And trying to still be okay with yourself afterwards. So I guess if there's any lesson anybody can learn from this, it would be first off, never go into a relationship with the idea that you're going to document the entire relationship in a book. Like, don't ever do that as a thing to get into a relationship. That's bad. Let's not do that. But B, or two, or also, um, just knowing that it's gonna be okay. The the pain is going to be awful and shitty, but you will come out of it, you know? Um, you will come out of it. Let me see. Thomas says, I'm sure there were red flags in the beginning. Unfortunately, I wasn't experienced enough to know any better. Oh, yeah. I mean, red flags don't pump the brakes for you. They're just there to say, like, hey, you might want to remember this. No, let me see. Yeah, the not knowing any better. I mean, there were red flags, but unless this is just like a me thing. But I also feel like the term red flags gets thrown around a little too much because I can go through a list of every single person I've ever dated in my head, probably. And I could come up with red flags for every single one of them. And a red flag for you might not be a red flag for somebody else. But I mean, I guess that's why, you know, flags are red. Um, But yeah, and also if you, um but, like, the sad thing is now you do have that experience, you know what I'm saying? Like, now you know, and, like G.I. Joe says, "Knowing's half the battle, guys." But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's easy to romanticize toxicity as some epic love story. 15 years or so on, I see it as a sad anecdote, sorry. But at the time, it was do or die. Yeah, um, I hear that. I'm trying to think if I was. I mean, you guys will be able to read in the book if I was or not. I don't think I was. I think what was tricky about that whole thing was that, like, I didn't really see any toxic behavior or anything like that. Yeah, until um it was way too late. And then it was just like, I don't want to say it was like a switch that got flipped, but I don't know another way of saying it. It was like it seemed like the whole first part she was like this. And then after, and this might be like a thing, after living with me, they end up going a little angry. So maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm really hard to live with. I don't know. Possibly. But yeah, so that's how that went down. Um, I think I saw the red flags, but chose to ignore them because I love the person. Yeah. And then that only really makes you feel bad if those red flags are the reason why everything got fucked up in the first place. And then you're looking back at it going, fuck, you know? But, it's okay. It all happens for a reason, and we're all here. So it's all good. But yeah, there's going to be, I'm going to try not to harp on um, the campaign and everything like that. I know people don't like it. I've done enough of these to know that people don't love me banging on about something. So, what I think I'm going to do is like, I'll probably do like once a week, do a video that is related to the thing, um, but not be like blah, blah, blah about it. And then, let me see. Probably on the Sunday streams, I'll just give little updates. If you're a member, I'll probably talk a lot more about it during the um, what do you call it? The Monday through Friday member streams. So if you're not a member, join down below, um, and come to those, and we could chat about it and stuff like that. But did I say something weird? Did I say weekend, Monday through Friday weekend streams? Um, I didn't recognize behaviors as toxic until I was out of it. Seeing those behaviors continue in his next relationships was confirmation that even though he said otherwise, I didn't deserve any of it. Yeah. Whew. That's heavy. I hear ya. Um, Life is weird, guys. I don't know how else to say it. It is really, really weird. Man. But if you guys have any questions, I didn't mean to go somewhere else there in my head for a minute. Um, I'm just gonna really be happy once this is over. Because, like, honestly, I think it's a good book. Like, and here's another thing too. Let me just throw this out here. Poetry collections are known to not be very good. Like, most people who like poetry like certain poems from people, and that's about it. Like, "Oh, I really like these poems," but go like, "Oh, yeah, is there a good collection?" Like, "Oh, fuck." Like, poetry collections are really tricky to get right. Um, but I think this book, like, from beginning to end, is really good as a book. So, I am very, very proud of this collection. I really am. As much as it's hard for me to read, it reads well from beginning to end. I also really like all of the artwork that um, I I got to put in the book. That's really cool. That's really neat for me. Talk about the cover art. I love the obnoxious pink. How dare you? I'm just joking. It's so good to hear you say you're proud of it. You should be. Oh, yeah, no, like, I mean, it's a big book. It probably doesn't need to be as big as it is, but um, I don't know. I really, really, really like it. Like, I just think there's some really good stuff in it, and it's probably my most like naked shit. Like, like in the killing the muse portion of the book and without the muse portion, like that's probably like as raw as I've ever written anything. So so yeah, if you really like my raw shit, like at least the last two sections of this book are going to be very, very pleasurable. Um, but we all do our weird stuff. Let's see, the obnoxious pink. Where did it go? Okay, so here we go. Let's talk about this obnoxious pink. Okay, so that is um, pink India ink and oxide black India ink. I think the pink is called, oh my gosh, it's on the tip of my tongue. It's rose. It's not pink. It's flux, flummox, not pulse. It's by Amsterdam. So if you look at their inks, impulse, reflex rose is what color that is. Um, yeah, it's a good color and it always looks good with black. And then obviously the oxide black is like one of my favorite ink colors. It's just so rich. Yeah. So that's that. a little finger painting than with a big um, splat. I do love splatting my ink. It's one of my favorite things in the world to do. And maybe I'll do little things about each one of these, like just talking about that. I should talk about this since this is just sitting here looking at me. So this one here, however you want to do it, um, this one here is a weird painting because I did this because I probably shouldn't just leave that on there. Um, and it's called Nude in the Rain. And it's because outside my window, because I was on the third floor of that building looking down, and I could see the corner from my window. And somebody was getting like kicked out, or they moved out and left a bunch of their stuff inside the apartment across the street. And management of that building or whatever was just putting all their shit on the corner, which happens in that neighborhood all the time. And within 10 minutes, it's gone. But one of the things that they put out there, and it was raining during this time. So I'm just like looking out at the rain. Dude, I miss the rain right now. God, especially LA rain. Because it like washes I don't want to be funny, but it washes the stink of LA away for just like a minute. And then it comes right back. But that rain, well, I know you guys have rain. You guys don't have anything else. You can have our rain. Dude, it is so hot here. I'll take it, though, for real. But anyway, so they had this giant painting. It was probably, oh, I don't know. It had to have been like 6 feet tall, 4 feet wide. And it wasn't a good painting. Like, it was just a big painting. Okay. And it was of a naked woman. And they just like put it out on the corner, like facing out, like against the telephone pole. And it was just like, I'm looking at this like painting of a naked woman in the rain. And if it wasn't raining, I would have ran out there and got it. A, because it was a huge canvas, but B, because it was like a cool, weird painting. But the thing that was funny is that it's raining. And as it's raining, I don't know what the hell this was painted with, but like everything just started running and the whole thing just started falling apart. And then parts of it started like crumbling. It was the weirdest shit I've ever seen. And I wrote a poem about it. And I think it's in the chapbook that comes with the campaign. Like if you like do Seasons of the Muse, you get the chapbook of the poems that didn't make it in. I think that poem's in that book. But this was me painting what the painting was because I felt bad that the painting was going to disappear and it just like um wither away in the rain. So that's why that happened. Um but yeah, and then that's the cover for Sexting the Muse, the first portion of the book. Um so that's kind of funny. That's some good times. Like, as much as I don't wanna do prints ever again or even now, I am kind of excited for doing the prints of these. Um, so there's gonna be each one, there's gonna be 100 of, and then that's it. Um, and yeah, they'll be signed and numbered and the whole thing. Oh, that's another thing. I just wanna say this in case people don't understand, because I've already had a couple people ask me about it. If you want the print pack that has all 7 prints, that's an add-on. So it's not something you can get, um, like, what do you call it? Like, you can't, like, go in and pick that as a tier. Like, once you pick a tier, you can get those things after, okay? Like, you could get the pack of 7, or you could get each one of these actual like the original pieces. But you can only do it as an add-on, and that's fine if that's how Indiegogo does it, and I don't even know if that's how Kickstarter does it. I just wish that those things were brought up instead of it being like a thing where it's like, "Oh, we know you've already made your decision and are checking out, but wait, let me try to throw this stuff at you." I wish it wasn't like that. I wish it was a little more transparent. You want the obnoxious pink one, right? Okay. Well, I will make sure that the because every book, when you get the Seasons of the Muse book, you get one print, the book, the chapbook, the ebook, and then if you pick the audiobook version, you're gonna get the audiobook of me reading it too. But let me see. Seasons book, art print, ebook, chapbook. Yeah, so you're gonna get those 4 things. It like as long as you get one of the paperback tiers, like not the ebook tier, but like the first like actual tier with the book, you get a print, the thing in the chapbook and the whatever. So I don't know. I think Anarchy Crew members get to pick which one they want and have it not be random. So if you're in the crew, um, I'll let you pick your random print because I'm just gonna do it like pulling them out of a hat and putting them in. I'm glad you're excited. I'm excited about getting them made. Like just having like one of the coolest things to do. Like, and this has been how it's been even since the first comp album a band of mine was on. It's when that box arrives that has all the copies of the thing you just made. That is such a cool fucking feeling. But every time that happens, every time I open the box and look at all of the things, I always say, now what? What's next? What's next? What am I going to do now? It's like I could never just like relish that moment. And like, I mean, the closest thing I get, I think, is taking a picture, putting it on Instagram, and then I move on. And then I'm like, what's the next project? What am I doing? But yeah, so I mean, I could do a couple little thingies about this stuff. This is so funny. Arr, 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 arr. You know what's even funnier? I don't mean to be like super uber dark, but yeah, this guy here. Okay, this is the cover of um, Fighting the Muse, and this is it's called Bars, and this is the painting. And she was sitting right next to me when I painted this, and it's like, wow. I need art for the new house, so the prints will go in the collection for the new walls. Oh, yeah, it sure does, Thomas. It sure freaking does. But anyway, but yeah, so there's, and I'm actually gonna post on Instagram today the 7 images because I was gonna do an Instagram thing where I just talked about them as I go. But yeah. And then I'll probably do more things where like I read a poem out of it. Let me see. Should I do that right now? Oh my god. Hi Nicole. Am I right? Kinda fucking cool. Okay, so in the book of extras, just so I could throw this out there to you guys, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So there's 28 poems in the chapbook of extra poems that didn't make it into the book that you guys are gonna get. Oh wow, that's a different thing there. Let me see. Let me actually try to find a poem that is more um oh wow. Okay, that's more like it. Oh, okay. I got confused there for a minute. I'm like, why is there like no poems in this chapter? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it's a really long poem. Let me see. Can I make this bigger? Huh, that's what she said, and then she left. Oh, I joke. I kid. I kid. Let me see. Um, yeah, I don't know, guys. Let me see. Okay, I guess I could read this. This was in the kind of looking back at stuff period. Um, ooh, that's a good one though. Okay, so this is called "You Really Weren't Good to Me." But for some reason, I still think of you. It's been almost a year. I see your soap in the shower, untouched. The hair on the shower walls is no longer yours, but mine. For the last 4 months, I've barely written anything because writing about you has been too painful. Knowing you think my poems are lies, too painful. But tonight, I'm trying to get back to my old self. I'm trying to get the words on the page and doing it without the tears in my eyes. I open drawers, find your things. Mail comes with letters addressed to you. Every so often, even though I'm blocked, you somehow end up in my social media feed. I look away because I realize you're not that great. It hurts me to say it, but it's true. You were never that good to me, but you did give me your love. And even though that love was horribly toxic and flawed, you gave me your love. And I'll always love you for that and appreciate you for that, even though you weren't really very good to me. So that was that's from the last section of the book, like a trying to, I don't know, put things together after things fell apart kind of thing, at least for me. Um, yeah. So because there's like seriously like 1,000 poems in this book, I don't know if there's 1,000, but there's a lot. Um, I'll probably read one poem a day on videos or streams because I totally can fucking do that. And it's only like a tenth of the book. Wow, that's fucking crazy, dude. Fuck. That's wild. Well, what do you know? So that's fun. Uh, looking forward to reading it. I hope so. And thank you so much, man. I'm so excited. And I think once this one's done, I'm gonna do the LA book just because I really want to get that book done. And then I have my big desert book that I wanted to do too, with all of the many, 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 many desert poems that started this whole thing in the first place. This will be fun. I think it's also weird too because a lot of times when I put out a poetry collection, um, it's like a collection of like either chapbooks or a collection of themed things that have already been out for the most part. So the fact that this book is, I would say, like 98% new stuff. I'm horrible at math, guys, so don't quote me on that. It's kind of fun. Um, there's some poems in this from Winter. There's some poems in this from poems about effing. There's a couple poems in this from Falling, which is like that really low run chapbook that no one ever got a hand never read. But yeah, so I'm just really, really excited. Um, but yeah, do you guys have any other things you guys want to chat about? Bukowski Book Club. This I'll probably do the next part of this. It'll be this week. I don't know what day. This week is very busy. Very busy. Oh man, I'm gonna have to go to LA like at least 2 times next week. That's fun. Man, that's not fun. I'm not looking forward to that at all. And then I will probably also have a review of the Black Square this week. Remember how I was saying that this was a great read and it was put together so well in that one stream where we were talking about it? It totally is. Once you get past the staples, the book starts to kind of go downhill a little bit. I'm hoping that it was just like one chapter was just so dull. But I'm hoping it'll turn around and I'll be able to like get excited. God, I just got bored thinking about reading that chapter. That's awful. But yeah, so that book. Let me see, is there any cool pictures in here that I could show y'all? Here's some cool like little sketches he did for costumes for a play. There's some of his stuff. And then I think I said in a stream a while ago that Kandinsky was the one who did the bad airplane thing and said, "This is an airplane." I think it's right here, actually. No, that's not it. I just saw a picture of it. Oh my gosh. Is it not in here? I'm going to be really annoyed if it's not in here. After all this trash I'm talking. But yeah, I think in one video I said that was Kandinsky, and it obviously is Malvik or Malvich, however you say. I can't find it. Oh, wait. Here we go. It's this guy here. Okay. So that was the one I attributed to Kandinsky. And I think there's a Kandinsky painting in here, so you can see the difference between what Kandinsky does. And, oh, this book's going to get good. Oh, this book's going to get good. I'm really excited now. Okay, so we'll get back to that. Oh, hell yeah. That's going to be good. Oh my God. I just saw some parts of a chapter towards the end of the book, and I am on board. Are we going to see? I don't think, maybe it's not in this book. Oh, it was in the other book. Yeah, sorry. It was in another book. So, yeah, so that happened. Ooh, that looks good. Oh my God, that's so exciting. I'm very excited now. Okay, basically, because if you look at this, you see the cracks in the paint because this painting's 100 years old, right? Well, there's allegedly, I think, 3 or 4 different ones that he painted because, like, one, he couldn't get out of a country, so it's at the museum in that country, and then he was going to have another exhibition, so he painted it again, and that's been done a couple times. And anyway, so there's been a lot of controversy as to when the painting was actually painted, and because there's cracks in the paint now, you could kind of see what was under the canvas because the canvas was something else before. And so this picture here is a reconstruction of the color composition directly below the black square. Okay. So there's going to be, I'm assuming, this whole chapter is about what they think with infrared, like, shit to see what they think is underneath the painting. Oh my God, this is so nerdy. This is so up my alley right here. Oh my God. What's this chapter called? Better be called Hold My Beer. It's called Conclusion. The story continues because of science. That's okay. Science is fun. No, it's called Annex. The results of the technical analysis of Malvich's black suprematist square. Wow. Oh my God. Ah, that's so exciting. Oh, so that'll be cool. Should I show you guys a painting I was working on the other day? Do you guys want to see the newest thing? Yeah, we've been here a bunch. I was using something I've never used. I mean, I've used before, but not in this context. So let me go get it. I guess I could just walk you over there and maybe get another cup of coffee while I'm in the neighborhood of the coffee. So I did show you guys the pink one that's basically going to end my Forest Through the Trees. Series, but this guy here. So I did show you guys this one, I think in one of the member streams. I showed you that guy. But the thing that I did, this guy's kind of big. I guess we're just going to have to do it like this. So this, oh, that's such a bad picture. Let me see if I can just do this. Okay. So this here is what I was working on. There's a part of me that wants to do some more stuff to it, but I want you guys to get in there and see that texture and standing on stuff. Look at that. Ooh. Texture. Look at that. It's almost like cake frosting. Isn't it just gross? Isn't it just the nastiest thing you've ever seen? Look at that. Ooh. Yeah. And then for whatever reason, all the little speckles on this kind of plum background is cracked pepper. I don't know why I did that, but there was a bottle of pepper, and I'm like, oh, I could just crack some pepper on this paint while I'm waiting for it to dry, because I didn't have anything to do for like, God, that took like 2 hours, and then one part wasn't even dry still, and I just did stuff around it. Tea time. Or coffee time, but yeah, tea time. Let's do tea. I'm gonna get some coffee though, but let me see if this is like super hard yet. It's still kind of. I wanted to do this big sculpture bit with the pumice gel, but it didn't really work out the way I wanted it to. Maybe because this was so big, but I don't think the pumice would have done what I wanted it to do. Like I needed actual plaster in order to do what I was originally thinking of doing. But I'm thinking of moving, like skipping plaster altogether and going straight to concrete or cement. And it's going to be a bitch to ship those. It's just going to cost a lot because they're going to be really heavy. But I just want like heavier stuff. I don't know. So let's go get some coffee. For those of you in the LA area, my paintings, Black Sand 2 and 3, that are at Carter Sexton are only going to be there for, I think another week, another 6 days. I have to pick them up on the 26th. If they're still there, hopefully they'll just sell. Let's just someone just go buy them. That'd be easier. Then I don't have to make the trip, right? Let's just do that. I'm going to focus on that. I'm going to put my energy into having them sell. That'd be awesome. Maybe I should do like a whole Instagram campaign just on that. That'd be pretty awesome. Can I sell 2 paintings in 6 days that are like 2.5 hours away from me? I think I could do it. Can you guys do it? Yeah. The other night, a tarantula hawk was crawling all over the ground outside and then came up onto the patio and crawled up basically to where we were sitting and walking around. And I was like, get in the house. Because those things have the second most painful sting in the world, second to the Colombian bullet ant. And it like paralyzes you and stuff, and just like excruciating pain. They will sell, Matt. Yeah, they will sell. But yeah, it was out here walking around, just like walking. I've never seen one just like I'm walking around. But it was because it was kind of windy. And it was funny that the wasp knew this because it got windier than it's ever been within maybe like 15 minutes of that leaving. Once it finally like walked away, I'm like, oh yeah, there's no way that thing would have been able to fly around in this. But yeah, so they will sell. I have some new canvases that I got yesterday, and then I still have that canvas roll in storage I need to go get out. But I'm wanting to do a black and white series that I keep talking about doing, and then whenever I start it, it turns into something else. But yeah, I'm really excited about doing that. I've been wanting to do this for a while. So I might make some videos about it or like stream it or something. Um, yeah. So that'll be something that's happening. But in case you haven't heard yet, click the link down below, go to Indiegogo, and pick your tier, back this campaign, and get a bunch of cool stuff. And there's add-ons that you could get afterwards. And then, yeah, and I will thank you and send you all sorts of cool stuff. So it will be good. Um, the the art opportunities this week seem a bit slim. Um, but yeah, so there's a lot of cool stuff happening. A lot of cool things I submitted to. I've already submitted to something. So members, tomorrow we'll talk all about that because I don't want to talk about it on this stream or on public until I know what's going on. But I'll share all that stuff with y'all. And then yeah. So 6 days to sell the paintings. I mean, I guess they could have already sold. I guess I need to just like look into it and find out. I don't know how they do that. And it doesn't matter. We'll talk to them. And then 1, 4, and 5 of the black sand paintings I'm submitting to another um, exhibition. And then I'm making the 2 big ones. One's going to be at least 20 inches by 5 feet. And then the other one's going to be, I think, a 6 foot by 6 foot square, maybe a little different. But yeah, 20 inches, maybe 24 inches by 5 feet. So 2 feet by 5 feet. And then just a big, giant, huge ass square. Oh my God, I can't wait to finish those. That's going to be so fucking cool. Oh, I've been sitting with this giant jar of sand from the beach and ephemera in it since Mother's Day. Was Mother's Day the day I went to the beach? I think it was. Yeah. Anyway, that's what's going on. Go to mountwallart.com if you want to check out my art and my chapbooks. But yeah, either go to Indiegogo and pick those up, or do the thing, or what? I'm fucking losing my shit right now. I'm thinking too much about all of these things I want to do. I'm getting very excited. Oh, I'm getting very excited. I just had some thoughts about what to do with those. Oh, that's going to be cool. Yeah, I'm very excited right now. My brain is going into a million directions. That'll be fun. All right. So yeah, so thanks for hanging out with me. And thank you for people who've already contributed. You guys are awesome. Um, Hearts, I love you. You make this all worth doing. And as excited as I am for this book to come out, I'm also really excited to move on and put out other stuff and put other books out. The LA book's coming. The Poetry is Bullshit book is coming. Probably the Desert Poems book is coming. That thing's going to be huge. I'm not even joking you. That one's going to be close to 700 pages. And there's no need on the planet for a 700-page book of poetry, even mine. Ugh. I'm going to have to do something with that. Matt Wall slipped into ADHD mode. It happens when I get kind of manic and excited. My brain starts doing something completely different. And you guys could watch it happen. That must be hysterical. Like when I'm sitting here doing a live stream, and then you could actually see my brain go, "That was really cool that you're doing a live stream, but I'm out of here." Oh my gosh. And then I'm just like talking about everything all at once. But yeah, so I'm going to post some things on Instagram about the prints that are going to be in the book, or the artwork that's going to be in the book. I'll do a poem from the book every day or so on YouTube here. And then I got to get those paintings sold. Let's sell some fucking paintings, guys. Let's do this. And then hopefully I will get into that program. And then that'll be a whole other fucking thing. Very excited. Oh. Okay, guys, type hard. Have a good day. Okay, have a good weekend. I hope you guys are all doing awesome and have great chat. Bye. Yes. And thank you guys for supporting the campaign who've done so already. Every little bit helps. Seriously. But we're already at 12%. Hopefully by the end of today, we get to 15 to 20, or some badass motherfucker comes in and just pays for the whole thing and says, "You know what? I like the cut of your jib. Here's a fucking check." And I'll say, "Goddamn. Just goddamn. You're getting a dedication page now, you fool." So that's how that goes. Okay, guys, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.